Nothing fancy, nothing schmancy. Just a simple banana snack that I absolutely love. I also eat this on celery. But today's banana day, so we're doing bananas. You can do the longer piece of banana. Look, I don't use a whole banana usually. I usually share that with somebody. So I'm going to do a quarter of banana. This is one of my favorite things. This is a mixed nut butter that I get from Costco. As you can see, I love it. I eat it a lot. This has almond and cashew butter in it. And then it's got flax seeds, chia seeds, and pumpkin seeds in it. So lots of extra goodies. And you really only need a little bit of it, about a tablespoon. That's a quarter of a banana. And then my favorite thing to do with these is to put dried cranberries on it. So I know raisins aren't a thing. I'm of that generation where we got raisins in our lunch boxes, but I love dried cranberries. So that would be, if I wanted something that I could do literally in about a minute, that's what I'm going to pick. Today we're going to do a couple of other really fun things, but I'm going to take a bite of this first. Okay. Good stuff. I could eat this by the spoonful. Or the banana full, I guess, however you want to look at it. Now, if you want to give yourself something a little elevated, if you will, we're going to brulee up a banana. If you've had creme brulee, brulee simply is what you do to the top of creme brulee. And in this instance, you know what? I'm going to wait on that because we're going to just use the other half of this banana. Because we don't need the whole thing. I mean, there is such a thing as too much banana. Fun fact, I don't like artificial banana anything. So I will avoid that like the plague. But I do love a real banana. So yesterday I made pecans, and I used this. It's made from stevia. And I'm curious because I decided to get that out again today because I want to see if it brulees. Because I didn't think it was going to caramelize yesterday because it was behaving, it's not sugar, so it behaves a little different than sugar. And it did eventually caramelize, but it didn't caramelize the way I'm used to with a sugar-based product. So there's that. And then if you've never used castor sugar is great. It's used a lot in the UK for a lot of their baking. It's a finer grind, so you could find, if you just find a fine grind of sugar, it's more like castor sugar. I know Domino's has a super fine grind. Well, one of the things we do with our castor sugar, so just so you know, there's nothing wrong with it. We drop a vanilla bean or two in there. We make what's called vanilla sugar. So we use that for hot chocolate, for cocoa. If we just buy the cocoa without the sugar already in it. So we use that for a lot of things, especially for baked goods and things we put on baked goods. So now let's make fire. Okay, so believe it or not, my kids got me this one year for Christmas. So yes, my kids got me a blowtorch. All right, so we're going to fire this puppy up. And then, yes, we're going to make it usable. All right, I'm going to try this one first on the stevia. And it is bubbling up. And yes, I could make this a much higher flame, and it would flame everything up faster. It would, some people like their brulee a little more burnt. That's not me. I don't mind it browned, but I don't want it burnt. So this is starting to melt. Again, it doesn't behave quite like sugar, so I'm going to let that go because it's liquidy now. And then I'm going to do the caster sugar, which is already starting to melt very, very quickly. And it'll brulee a little differently. There we go. When you start to see the brown bubble up, you know it's starting to crystallize and brulee. So we're going to turn that off. And we're going to see if we've given it long enough for the, yep, can you, I don't know if you can hear that. I'll put you up near my microphone. So it got its little crust on it. And we'll try that one. It's just something fun that you could do. And you can either just eat it like that. You can put it on top of ice cream, however you want to do it. You could make discs out of it and put it on top and brulee those. That's really good. I think that hint of molasses was really helpful. This also has the crust on it. Very sweet, but it does have that hint of vanilla, which is kind of yummy as well. I'm gonna eat the other piece of this one. Pass this one off to my IT guy. And then now it's time for the piece de resistance. We are going to make bananas Foster. More of a dessert, but hey, why not, right? Let's go for it. So this might take a minute because this is 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter, but it's still frozen because I forgot to get it out of the freezer earlier today. So we're going to get that out of there. We're going to turn the power on this. And we're going to melt that butter. And while that butter is melting, we are going to slice up 2 bananas. Because again, I just don't want to. One of the things I realized with some of my cooking videos is that I'm using a lot of ingredients and there's been some food waste, and I am not a fan of food waste. I didn't cut this right, but all right. So what you do with the bananas for Bananas Foster is the same thing I've been doing. You cut quarter of bananas. And I'm going to do 2 of them. And Bananas Foster started in New Orleans, which several really delicious desserts started in that area. At a restaurant called Brennan's that is still around. And you can still get your Bananas Foster made tableside. Now, some recipes call for rum. Some recipes call for rum and banana liqueur. They specify dark rum. I did not have dark rum, and I don't have banana liqueur. Again, that food waste thing, I didn't want to waste a whole thing of banana liqueur because, again, banana flavored stuff, not my favorite. So I have horchata. And I have this one. And it's got rum, cream, and natural cinnamon flavor. So a little extra cinnamon never hurt anybody, in my opinion. Would you get me the coated whisk, please? So this butter's going here. I might turn this up just a smidge. Get this butter to melt a little faster. Is it Punia? Is that how you say it? Or Punia? Welcome. And hello back. If you're still here, I would love to hear what part of the world you're calling from. Or watching from. Oh, it's been a week, friends. It's been a week. Lost a good friend this week. And yesterday was my youngest birthday. And my birthday's coming up this week. So lots going on. It's been a busy one. What can I say? So we've almost got that piece of butter, those 4 tablespoons of butter. I don't want to scratch up my bone stick skillet. All righty. So that is just about done. Now I'm going to turn this up just a tad more. And I'm going to use a 1/4 cup. This is regular brown sugar. This isn't the sugar-free brown sugar, because I want to make sure I get this caramelization right. Okay, get this all mixed in. And it calls for 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. So we're going to pop that in there. That's about 1/2 teaspoon's worth. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit because I can see it's starting to get a little hotter than it needs to be. We're going to do a pinch of nutmeg. Yeah, that's about a pinch. And a pinch of salt. And I'm going to turn that back up to get it to start to caramelize. I don't know if you can see into the skillet or not, but it is nice and soupy. And we're going to let this go for about a minute like this so it starts to caramelize a little bit. It smells wonderful. It's got that molasses, caramel, cinnamon, buttery type smell. Just wonderful. Getting it all incorporated and ready to go. And you could use, I mean, I used a regular unsalted butter. How'd you know I was a Nana? I actually am a Nana. But my grandkids aren't old enough to be on YouTube quite yet without their mother's supervision. But hello. All right, we've gone just about a minute, so then we're gonna pop these bananas in. You put them the cut side down to start. And that lovely sugar mixture is going to caramelize a little more. Ah, that one didn't go cut side down. All right, I've burned myself on sugar, so I am very careful with molten sugar. We will not be sticking our fingers in there for that. We're going to move that around for about another minute or two. Just like that. And after about a minute or so, we are going to flip this. This is not caramelizing the way I would have expected. It's kind of chunky. So if you're watching and you're willing, Tell me, what is your favorite way to eat bananas? Do you just like them plain? Do you like them with peanut butter? Do you like them with other fruit? Do you like them bruleed? How do you like them best? Because I've never done it this way before, so this is brand new. I like to experiment with food. I think it's fun. I think food should be fun. So, all right, now we're going to flip these guys over so the other side gets some of this lovely mixture on it. One of them broke apart, so we'll just let that be what it is. This one's about to break apart too. But these things happen, you know? This is why I don't mind things like that happening on camera. I'm not embarrassed by it because that's life. That's cooking. You know, things don't always turn out the way we expect. Sometimes we learn something new when those things happen. So, well, that one does not want to flip over. So here we go. Oh, my bananas are getting very soft. All right, so we're gonna try to get this one to flip. There we go. All right. Would you give me a bowl? Now, I know these are sometimes served on a plate with a lip. I don't have a plate with a lip, so I am going to use a bowl. And we're going to turn this off. Now, this stays hot after I do that, but all right. I'm going to scoop out a couple of these beautiful bananas. Look at that. Aren't they beautiful? Got that wonderful sugar on it. Oh, gosh. I'm not done. Oh, my IT guy. What would I do without him? Got to turn that back on. All right. Oh, we forgot the horchata, friends. This is life, right? So, hi, Ivan. Okay, here comes the horchata. All right, and then, all right, I've never done this. Never done it in a skillet like this. Lit it on fire. But, there we go. We're going to light up and burn off the alcohol. Doesn't want to light. But we're going to make sure we cook the alcohol out of it. So, turn that back off. And you're just supposed to kind of, oh, there's that caramelization we were looking for. Yes. Okay. I'm going to get me a spoon. It'll be easier. A big plastic spoon. Oh, this is gorgeous, you guys. My bananas are falling apart, but it's gorgeous. Look at that. So yummy looking. All right, now we're going to turn it off because I think we've amply cooked off the alcohol. There's not a ton of it in horchata anyway. Okay. All right. Try this again. Now, the thing is, you don't have to put the alcohol in there. It just gives it a nice, richer flavor, a deeper flavor. So we're going to put these in a bowl. And then we happen to have an ice cream ready, and you put ice cream over it. The ice cream of your choice. I meant to tell him to get that out a couple seconds ago. It comes out easier if it sits for a minute. But we're going to pop that out of there because it's a single serve. And you can just pop it on there, and it's going to start to melt. And then it melts all in there, and you eat it with your bananas, and it is absolutely wonderful. So anyway, there you go. Bananas, 3 different ways that you can snack on them. 3 different levels of however much you want to put, effort you want to put into them. You can go simple with the nut butter and maybe some cranberries, dried cranberries on top. You can brulee a little bit of sugar on top if you want to make it special. Or, you know, go all out. Have this. Now, I will tell you, we're going to have this, and we are going to put some whipped cream on top. to make it something really special. If you do that, you could put a few nuts on there, maybe some toasted walnuts or something like that. That would work. For everybody else, we'll be back tomorrow, same time, about 3 o'clock. And tomorrow, tomorrow is National Eggs Benedict Day. So we are going to make a different kind of eggs Benedict. They're not going to actually be poached eggs. They're going to be close. But hello, Judy. Thanks. I'm glad it looks good to you. You can also put a little bit of cinnamon on here, a little more cinnamon, just for pretty. But anyway, tomorrow we're going to make a special eggs Benedict, gluten-free, because I have to eat that way. And I hope you'll join us, 3 o'clock Eastern, or whatever time it is where you are at the top of the hour. So remember to subscribe so you get notifications for that. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 3 o'clock.